So, hello and welcome. I have more hair on my nose. I'm just gonna give you an update on what I've been knitting because I had big realizations. Not so big, I already knew it, but I'm feeling it more and more. What am I talking about? I'm talking about rustic fibers, not too processed fibers. The more I knit with different type of fibers, the more I realize what I actually really like to knit with and to have as finished objects. And some days ago, maybe a week or two ago, I bought some cheap yarn. This is Drops Flora, and some more mohair like these ones, because I wanted to use some stash yarn and I wanted to try the Drops Flora to knit a little jumper. I needed like a jumper that I'm not gonna care too much about, something that I can just throw on when I go out and in the garden when I'm messy and I don't need to care too much about that garment. So I'm knitting one and I'm using these two kind of cheap commercial yarns, and I'm knitting a drop shoulder jumper for myself. It looks tiny, but it should be good. So I realize I don't like this yarn, and I'm realizing yesterday I did a big stash organization. I just took a glass of something nice and just organized my stash. I realized I don't have too much, and I have some fibers, especially plant-based fibers, because that's what I've been learning about and diving and knitting with for the past months. I realize how much I like some fibers and how much I don't like some. Like, I don't like cottonized linen. I don't like cotton. I don't like cotton with a little bit of linen in it. I like cotton and linen together if they're just pure cotton and pure linen together and not overly processed. I love hemp. I love 100% raw linen fiber. And yeah, the more I've been knitting with those fibers, the more I realize I absolutely need to shift my practices and knit maybe a bit less, but with yarns that I really love and feel a lot of pleasure knitting with. I'm not saying that it for me is horrible to knit with these two and knit this little jumper. It's quite squishy and warm and has a nice drape, but to be honest, I absolutely don't like this. It feels very, very synthetic, it's kind of like it feels that the soul of these fibers have been stripped away. It feels really sad to say that, and it's not synthetic. This is alpaca and wool blend. And I'm really sorry if you like Drops Flora a lot. I respect that opinion. But for me, I'm realizing I'm still gonna cherish it because I'm grateful I can knit in general with different type of fibers and choose. But yeah, I want to be a bit more selective with any of my practices, especially when they take so much time. And as I'm knitting on my shawl, I've been designing this shawl for myself. It's massive and it's turning out really beautiful and I love it. As I'm knitting with this and using this beautiful rustic wool, look how pretty this wool is. I've been holding it together with a little mohair, and to be honest, the only two yarns I really like from this company, from the Drops Design company, are the mohair and the drops Bumulin, which is half linen and half cotton. But the rest, I don't really like them. And this is not from Drops. This is from a little Lithuanian family-run business. Now they're getting bigger because their yarns are very affordable, but they're really nice yarns and still very rustic, and they don't have any branding, so you don't pay the brand and the marketing, you just pay the fiber. And I really, really like this company. I've been looking at their website and their Etsy shop, and they have really beautiful yarns. I want to buy some white skeins of New Zealand, I think, wool to hand dye it myself. And yeah, as I knit with this fiber and then maybe take some breaks or knit on this project and then maybe take some breaks and knit on this one, I really feel the difference. Of course, these are different yarns. This is more like alpaca, so it's a bit more soft and drapey, but I'm not really enjoying this in terms of the knitting experience. And I've been really thinking about my practices. I got so inspired by Alex from the Ancestral Craft podcast. She gave me so much inspiration. She also has a Patreon account, and I've been thinking about having a Patreon account. Some of my favorite creators have a Patreon account, and I just didn't want to put the paywall between my creations and people in my audience. But at the same time, I'm realizing that I've been posting so much content here every week, showing up and receiving lots of love. But at the same time, I am self-employed. It's a bit hard to keep up and putting out good quality content, or like a lot of content, and receive just a little bit of money. And I don't want money to block me from creating. Does that make sense? Like, I want to be able to continue create and be open and like share lots of things, but at the same time I just don't want to burn out. And I realize I don't need to post every week here. People are not even looking at that because it's too overwhelming to every day see different type of content. And so I think I'll create a little Patreon account as well. It will make me take a breather, and I'll still post videos on YouTube, but I also will post there, so I can take a breather and I can, do that and be able to also afford better quality and more ethically produced materials and yarns. And I want to buy a spinning wheel as well, teach myself spinning. I want to learn to weave my own baskets. That's something that I've been wanting for 2 years now, and kind of trying it here and there. You will see me trying that in this video, because the other day I got so excited and started to do little experiments. But yeah, I think I'm gonna create a little Patreon account. I'm sorry if that will disappoint some of you. That won't take anything away from this channel. It would just make me feel a little bit more stable with my economy. I'm gonna share recipes and foraging experiments with wild plants, and I'm gonna share bits of my creative processes, whether that it's knitting or weaving or sewing, So I think I don't want to, over explain myself and justify my decisions, but I think I want to be honest with you, especially because many of you have been supporting me so much. Yeah, I don't want this decision to cloud my appreciation for all of your support here. I don't know. I guess I'm needing to get a little bit more coffee and knit a couple of more or finish this row at least, and then I'll need to do a little shop update. I need to edit this video as well because I've been taking footage for a week now. Yeah, I think that's my main decision in these days. I've been that makes me feel it makes me feel like I can take a breather. I can still create a lot and work and produce a lot of nice content, but at least I will feel a little bit more supported economically, and I need to be a bit more smart. So if you feel like supporting me, I will really appreciate it. It won't be a full commitment. It's a monthly subscription, so you pay monthly. But if you don't want to support me anymore for any reason, you don't like the content or you can't afford it, anything, you can just stop the subscription, and the months that are coming you won't pay, if that makes sense. So yeah, no full-time commitment. And yeah, I think that will feel good. If you want also to support Alex from the Ancestral Craft podcast, and yeah, she's also having she's so knowledgeable. She knows so much about spinning and working with wool and fibers, and so she's also having a beautiful content, and she has a Patreon account. I'll link it in the description box in case you want to support her. I've been looking at many creators. I've been wanting to do it for I think 6 months now, since I almost started, but then I was like, let me just skip that because it's extra work anyway. Like, it's a lot of extra work. But I think it will make more sense for me now. I think that's what I'm gonna do, and we'll see how long it will last. Maybe I'll burn myself out, and maybe it will be too much. But I think it's nice, and then we can do also like Q&A videos and lives, and a bit more community building there because it's a bit more private space, I guess. Yeah, my goal for now is to buy seeds, good quality organic seeds to plant in my future garden, buy a spinning wheel, maybe in the future. It's a big expense. I want to buy a bike for Mika as well. Those are my big purchases. And have money to buy also some good quality fibers. So those are my big goals that I want to reach without feeling like, oh my god, I spent all of my money and now I'm completely broke. So we'll see if we'll reach those goals. We can try. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope you'll enjoy it. I'll put some bits of what I've been doing this past weeks, days, and see you next time. Bye. Just popping by again because an amazing person, Rana, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, just sent me a gift pattern. She so proudly, she watched one of my latest podcast episode where I talked about that I want to knit many socks and keep our feet warm during the winter, and she just sent me this pattern. It's slipperies. They're called duffers, and I just read a bit through the pattern, and I'm so excited to make some. They look absolutely warm and cute. So thank you so much, Rana. This will keep definitely our feet warm together with the socks. So that's exciting. Very exciting. I'm almost done with this row, and then I'll prepare to go out foraging.
It's the coldest hand that run down this land where the ocean lands. It's the tallest sound, the damn smallest crowd, but their hearts break loud. Far from ever feeling lost with me, I'll push you back towards the land and sea. They're going down for love, and love is free.
We are just outside our house. Our house is up there, and I'm collecting some blackberry sticks or stems, or because I want to make a basket. If you've been here for a while, you know that I love making things with wild plants. We're gonna try with these blackberry vines. I don't know how to call them, you know, the blackberry vines. It's my first time trying this, so I'm quite excited. I've been removing all of the little and big thorns as well with the knife, with my knife. I'm gonna collect a few more. I actually, look, we could also make cordage. Exciting. With this I could make cordage. Look how amazing. Now I want to make cordage. This is amazing. Realizing that these are too thick, I would need a lot thinner sticks, because now it looks pretty, but I'm excited. It's cute, and of course this is my first one, so I'll eventually get better, but it's so pretty, very happy. And then when it comes to the basket, this is the result. I just started it, and it doesn't really work because I chose the fibers. These ones are too thick and they kind of break apart. So I think what I'll do I'll just collect thinner fibers and try it again. But I understood. I'm still very excited. This was just a trial, so it's normal that it doesn't look absolutely pretty. It looks like little Frankenstein. But I'm very excited because I kind of understood and learned the start and the kind of rosette thing, whatever, at the bottom of the basket. So I'm kind of excited, but I think I'll use some of the fiber parts to create more cordage. But this, I think, is a success, a list for me. And it's so fun to make. It's like little spinning type of thing. And maybe one day, I was thinking, I'll incorporate some of the cordage. Maybe not this one, but go pretty. But maybe like a nettle cordage or something like that. And I'll incorporate it into the neckline, for example, of a jumper, something like that. We'll see. But for now, I think I'm more than happy with what I've accomplished today in terms of cordage and in terms of let's see, and in terms of starting my learning process to make baskets. And this was absolutely free. I used some invasive wild plants around me, so very happy. But we'll eventually get better, but very happy. So I'm gonna tune out. I'm gonna focus on my knitting now, maybe cook something and unwind for the evening. And thank you so much for joining me today as well. I hope you'll have great time, and I'll keep you posted with my plant fibers journey. But it's exciting. Okay, bye.